recording will be posted to the internet for public viewing. The Health Licensing Office asks that individuals attending through MS Teams to keep your microphone muted and cameras off during the entire meeting until you are given an opportunity to comment during the public and interested parties feedback period if indicated on the agenda. Please do not use the chat feature during meetings. I will now call roll. Christy Knapp. David Howe.
Present.
Kimberly Canaday.
Present.
Jamie O'Neill here. Kimberly Robinson.
Absent.
Marcy McKee.
I'm here. And then just an FYI to all of you, I am driving while doing this meeting, and if I seem to be absent, it's because I may go through a dead cell spot, but I would always call back.
Okay. Sorry, where was I? Oh, Christina Russ. Absent. Olivia Gill. Okay, absent. Members, when you wish to speak,
Here,
please
sorry, I'm
state.
present.
Oh,
Okay,
there's Christina.
Okay, thank you.
We need
Trying to
Christina.
unmute myself.
Christina, okay.
Olivia.
Olivia Gill? Okay,
Here.
Olivia. Okay, members, when you wish to speak, please state your last name for the record. Board members are asked to not use the chat feature during meetings. Public members wishing to speak must first sign in on the roster sheet available. For public members on MS Teams, please call or email Carrie Edwards at carrie.edwards@oha.oregon.gov and provide your first and last name. Public and interested parties' feedback may be heard during the public interested parties' feedback period if indicated on the agenda. Everyone is asked to use appropriate language, manners, and protocols when conducting board business. This meeting is called to order. Prior to public interested parties' feedback, at this time,
Jamie.
the board of, am I going too fast?
You don't have to read this part yet.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's section. Yeah, I'm sorry. The first
Okay,
thing
sorry,
is to
first time.
the first thing is to approve the agenda, and there is no
Okay.
executive session on there, so that would be an amendment.
Okay, so is that like another part of the script? Sorry, I'm trying to go through.
No, it's just somebody makes a motion in a second, and then you call everybody's name to say aye or nay.
Okay. So do we have anyone to move a motion to start the meeting?
To approve the agenda.
Oh,
Anyone.
to approve the agenda, sorry.
Canaday, I make a motion that we approve the agenda and start the meeting.
Yeah, this is Trent Shuck, regulatory manager, and I just wanted to again point out that we will not be having an executive session. We don't have any information for an executive session. So 6 and 7 we don't need on the agenda anymore. So if you wanted to incorporate that into a motion to amend
Just say
the
with
agenda.
amendments. You can say with the
amendments.
amendment.
Okay, do we want to approve the meeting with the amendment?
Canaday, Kimberly, I make a motion that we approve the agenda with amendments.
You just need a second.
Does anyone?
Olivia Gill, and I approve the meeting to move forward with the amendment.
Okay. And now we'll take a vote on that. Christy Knapp, not here. David Howe does not vote. Kimberly Canaday,
Aye.
Jamie O'Neill, aye. Kimberly Robinson, not here. Marcy McKee,
Yes.
Christina Russ, not here. Olivia Gill,
Aye.
okay, it looks like the meeting has been approved.
Yes, and then I think there's one new public member. Is it Olivia
Olivia?
or Marcy? Can't remember which. There's so many new ones.
I believe
I
it's
just want-
Marcy is the new member that's never been to a board meeting yet.
Oh.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I am here. I am the new public member.
Wonderful. Well, we'd like to welcome you to the meeting and thank you for deciding to take this on. We wanted to give you a little bit of an opportunity to kind of go around and have some idea of the people that you're serving with, the people here at HLO. So first off, I'm Travis Shuck. I'm the interregulatory manager. Robert Bothwell, the director, is not here today, but others, people that you may come across and meet during this process, serving as a board member, is also Tina Russell. She's the licensing manager. I don't know if Tina wants to introduce herself.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending today. Yes, I am the licensing manager. I've been with HLO for 27 years. Hope everybody has a good 4th of July.
And also Sandy Patna, she is the policy analyst. She does all of the stuff regarding policy and rules and things and legislation and things like that that go along with this board, as well as many others, but this board in particular.
Hi, Sammy. Nice to meet you, Marcy.
Other people that you may have to deal with, and I say deal with, is Nathan Goldberg. He's our technology person here. He does a lot of things, but he often is running the meeting and sometimes is a contact as well. Also, somebody who is not here, but you may be getting emails and things from, is Carrie Edwards. She's been serving multiple roles for us in policy, but currently she's been filling in as a board specialist and helping coordinate the meetings and doing some of that things, emailing out, making sure that who's going to be attending, things like that. Also, we have Derek Fultz. He is he is the person who does all of the executive appointments and deals with, you probably had some contact with him. I don't know if he's on right now, but he's another name you'll, there he is.
I'm here. Hi, everybody. My name is Derek Foltz, Executive Assistant at the Health Licensing Office. Like Trampa said, you've probably heard me in regards to bringing on board members, people who want to reappoint, and then reaching out in regards to the trainings.
That's very cool. That's most of us here. It's at least all of us that are here, and plus some. Do you want to take a minute and introduce yourself, Marcy? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, thank you. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, great. So it's nice to meet all of you. I appreciate all of the introductions and I look forward to getting to know all of you and working with you. I am a former lawyer turned healthcare optimization consultant. I've been working in the healthcare industry for 20 plus years. Most recently, I served as the privacy officer and chief compliance officer for the Corvallis Clinic. And I also helped manage their recent merger and acquisition into Optum Healthcare. And I'm just in that role, I also worked a lot with state agencies to ensure compliance with all the rules and regulations, including the Oregon Medical Board and the Nursing Board. So your mission and purpose in agency work is familiar to me, but I'm new to the aesthetic industry. And I applied for the job because I'm fascinated by the growth and explosion in the industry and look forward to serving all of you and helping. Thanks.
Right. Well, Chair, would you like to go down the list of the board members and let everybody kind of say hello and introduce themselves to whatever extent they want to.
Yes, I can do that. Chrissy Knapp's not here. David Howe?
Yeah, good morning. I'm David Howe, Program Director with the Oregon Health Authority's Radiation Protection Services, and been in the state service about 17 years. Was a part of the initial startup of this board now several years ago. Anyway, welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Kimberly Kennedy?
Hi, I'm Kimberly Kennedy, and I'm a nurse practitioner in aesthetics for 8 years, but I've been a nurse in the medical world for 24 years. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And I'm Jamie O'Neill. I'm the vice chair, and I've been practicing advanced aesthetics in Oregon since 2008, and I have a practice in Portland and Vancouver, and I've been on the board probably almost a year now, and I served on the RAC previously as well. And let's see, Kimberly Robinson's not here. Marcy McKee?
Oh, that's me. I already gave my intro. I'm the new person.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marcy.
That's
Okay. Christina Russ, not here. Olivia Gill.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Marcy. I'm Olivia Gill. I am a certified advanced esthetician practicing advanced aesthetics in Oregon for just over 10 years. And I joined the board just this last December. Excited to be here.
Welcome. I think that was everybody, right?
I was gonna say, is that everybody? I think that is everybody. Did anybody not get to introduce himself who wants to introduce himself to Marcy?
But David Howe here. I believe Christina Russ shows as being on the meeting. She might have her microphone muted, but she's listed as being present here in the participant list.
Yeah, I haven't heard her respond yet, but I see that she's up there. Well, Christina, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry, Trampus.
If you are logged on and can hear us, we are not able to hear you. If you're having problems, maybe try logging off and log back in.
We need her for quorum. Christina?
Christina Russ.
Well,
Mike sounds like.
Mike is showing muted.
yeah, that's what I see. I'm gonna call her and shoot her an email.
Well, maybe we should just put things on hold for a minute while we
Yeah.
get this sorted out, okay?
He's gonna leave and log back in.
All right. Can you hear us now, Christina?
Yes, I apologize. I didn't check in sooner about it. So
I thought I saw you up there earlier and then you disappeared.
wonderful.
Well, I think, we might have to start over with the agenda
No.
vote. No?
She voted on the
No,
agenda.
she was on. Yeah, she was on.
Oh, were you on for the agenda?
Just got logged out.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Then, no, I guess we are,
Okay.
okay to move forward. So I think, well, we just got done with the introductions and, we're kind of moving on to the director's report. With your permission, Vice Chair, and we'll move forward with that. So I do want to do a quick note about board member and recruitment. There is a board member and recruitment memo in your materials. Other than the members and their current expiration dates, which are on the spreadsheet on the second page of that document. I want to point out some required training under the board member training. Is that there? So in the documents that you would have, these would be actually live links.
Page 10.
And it's on page 10 of the actual
Correct.
materials. So board members are required to do some training every when they first come on, and also some annual training. So you can see that the information security training foundations and the preventing discrimination and harassment are both required annual trainings that all board members must complete. So those are links, and I believe those are done through Workday. So you just be able to follow the instructions as you go through those links. I think if you did any of the board member rotation, that's all through Workday as well. Is that right, Sammy?
Correct.
So this is just more additional training. You may have already taken some of these in the past, but there's some of them, 2 of them are required annually. Then there is an optional overview of Oregon ethics law that you can take as well. It's not required, but it is optional. It's always a good idea, I think, to take those trainings, especially if you're unfamiliar with some of those specifics. So, yeah, just wanted to point that out. We have a full, well, no, I was gonna say we have a full board. We don't. We're still looking for a nurse practitioner. It looks like it is still vacant, but currently we have most of our board on their first term. So we have a pretty new board, except for Christina, who is in her second term. Will go until December of 2025. But everybody else is in their first term and will be able to reappoint if they want to do that when their time comes. So I'll just move right on to licensing and fiscal statistics. So you can see this first slide is licenses issued over the course of this time frame. There's been 115 licenses issued, and you can see that it kind of runs a similar trend, but it's pretty consistent, I think, year after year. So, and then you can see licenses renewed. This tells us a couple of pieces of information. How, when are people renewing? And you can see there's kind of a big bump in quarter 2. but it also gives us an important piece of information of how many people are renewing online versus by paper. You see that more people renew online than on paper, but can always be a little bit more, but we're doing pretty good there. Licenses by age and gender. You can see we're a pretty young profession, and pretty overwhelmingly are people who identify as female. So you can see that's a good trend to have a younger profession. It means we'll hopefully have a robust future. So licensing trends, it's kind of a slow, steady increase. This is just over the last couple of years. We've seen an increase from about 466 to 632 active licenses. And you can see that they have points behind them sometimes. These are just averages, snapshots in time. So we don't really have a 0.4 of a certified esthetician floating around out there, but it's just an average for that time frame. But you can see that it's going up. And here is the American Board of Lasers Surgery Examination Statistics. This just gives you an idea of how many people are taking this exam, as well as kind of a pass-fail rate for them. It doesn't call out individuals, but it does call out just number of times people have taken the exam that have been reported to us. So then your fiscal. So as far as your fiscals go, you are running pretty even. In fact, you have a little bit of a you're in the black by about 14,000 currently, and your ending cash balance currently is 158,000. So your revenues and expenditures are pretty balanced. Your expenditures are all part of here at the health licensing, you're part of a bigger whole, and your expenses are kind of figured out as a formula as part of that greater whole. Some things are directly related specifically to this board, and then others you're sharing kind of services with the other 21 programs that we, boards, programs and councils that we have for the health licensing, and it's how that expenditures number comes up. But as far as we're doing okay. You have a little bit of a cushion. That cushion is nice to have because we can have one big compliance case or something like that come along and use a good piece of that. So it's always good to have a little bit of a cushion. So, all right. So that is the licensing and fiscal statistics. The next one is the regulatory report. So this is actually, this is the area that I generally oversee, being the regulatory manager. And you can see there's a couple of bienniums. There's only 2 bienniums on this report. The 2023 biennium and the 2025 biennium, which we are only partially through. We're about halfway. I think we're halfway in like 3 days over through the second, that 2025 biennium. So you can see for the 2023 biennium, we actually had 18 complaints come in for advanced estheticians. And 10 of those are closed. 8 of those are still going through the process, either being investigated or in some phase of review. And then we also have the 2025 biennium, the one we're currently in. We've had 2 come in. Both of those are still open, but that's not completely unusual. So over that 2 biennium, we've had 20 come in, and half of those are still open. If you look over to the license by type, you can see, kind of get a general sense of what these complaints are about. You can see out of those 20, 9 of them are licensing concerns. And you can see 1 of them is a safety sanitation concern, and 10 of them are kind of a bigger catch-all of services provided. It's kind of a little bit larger, kind of a more non-specific, I should say. It can be anything from the service was just bad, It could be, an unprofessional situation. It could be, a negligence or incompetence or injury or something like that. So it's a little bit larger, more varied group that services provided. Can be a lot of different things. Complaints by type, anonymous. You don't get a lot of anonymous here. 3 are client and 16 are other, although that seems a little, or other can include just about anybody else other than the client, but so, yeah. I can also, since we have a new board member, I can just kind of give a quick overview of what regulatory does and how the process works maybe as well. Just take a minute to do that. This particular report shows one aspect of the regulatory operations, what we do in regulatory operations, and that is complaint processing. So these are where somebody actually says, hey, this person is doing something wrong. I think this person has violated the laws and rules in some way. And when those come in, we open every single one, or we at least assign a case number to every single one. We look at it and decide if it has any kind of merit on its face. In other words, would a reasonable person, if this information in this complaint were to be true, would a reasonable person believe that this was some kind of a violation of the laws and rules? And if so, then we're going to assign it to an investigator. And then that investigator will go through the investigative process, can include records gathering, interviews. They may be, like I said, they may be getting records from the esthetician or advanced esthetician. They may be getting records from medical providers. We also have a subject matter expert that we consult with throughout the process, because this is a pretty highly technical field, and a lot of things you can say somebody injured you or did something, but sometimes you have to be able to determine whether or not it's, is this a known side effect or, an outcome that could just happen, or is this something that was caused by practitioner negligence or something like that. So we go through that process, and you have some set civil penalties. If it was, say, a licensing issue, most of those are dealt with by set civil penalty, which is like a fine. If somebody's practicing advanced aesthetics without a license, which is a lot of those licensing concerns probably. If we found that to be true, we would issue a notice based on the civil penalty that the board had predetermined in rule. If it was some type of a service issue, like an injury, we would bring it to the board, and the board would have a chance to weigh in on that as well. Once that, and then that started the whole process of the disciplinary action. The other side of regulatory is inspections. If you've been in the field, you may have come across, if you're in the field and you work as an advanced esthetician or some other cosmetology professional, you probably will have some experience with an inspector coming in, and that is kind of, like I said, the other side. And we have 5 inspectors, and they're out just doing the entire state. We do all of the cosmetology facilities. We all do all of the paw practitioners, the certified advanced estheticians, and we also do all of the body art practitioners, tattoo, body piercing electrologists. We do inspections in all of those areas, and like I said, the 5 of them do the entire state. So at some point, if you're one of those practitioners, you'll have some experience with that. Those are not reflected on this report, but we basically try to get everybody in the entire state, and we just do it on a big loop. So that is regulatory in a nutshell. Does anybody have any questions about regulatory processes or this board report? Anything else that I might be able to answer?
David Howe here. I'm curious, you said you do your inspections, on-site inspections on a loop. So on an average, how often do you go to a facility? What's your frequency of inspection?
That's a good question. Well, it has varied over the 15 years that I've been here, based on if we have a full contingent of inspectors. So we have 5 inspector positions, and we currently have 5 inspectors, and they are going very quickly through the state. Actually, I would say they'll probably be around the state in 18 months is probably realistic. if they continue going at the pace they're going. But we have been down to as few as 3 or 2 that are actively working, 3. But that happens, and in that situation, you can end up having it like every 2 or 3 years pretty easily. But we try to squeeze it down. Like I say, with 5, we're doing pretty quick. We're going pretty good at a pretty good clip now. So as long as we can maintain that group, we'll be looking at probably 18 months.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Oh, then we will move on to public interested parties feedback. I will turn it back over to you, Vice Chair, and you can read that script. I don't know if there's any public, there's no public members in the room with me right now, so.
Okay, so at this time, the Board of Certified Advanced Statisticians will hear public interested parties' feedback. Members of the public, please wait until you have been recognized. Once recognized, please state your name and affiliation to the board for the record.
Are there any public members on the teams right now? All right. So, like we said earlier in the agenda of the executive session, and the attached votes to that are not needed at this meeting. So we are down to other board business. I do not have any other board business to bring up. I don't know if any board members or the chair or Sammy or anybody has anything.
No, I don't have anything today. Easy meeting.
Okay, so are we gonna adjourn the meeting then?
Yep.
Okay. The Board of Advanced Estheticians meeting is adjourned at, what is it now? Sorry. 9:44 a.m. on July 3rd, 2024.